Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Bandwidth for TWiT specials is provided by CacheFly at CACHEFLY.com.
This is TWiT Live Special number 239, recorded March 3rd, 2015, Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, Day 2. This TWiT Live Special is brought to you by Naturebox. Naturebox ships great tasting snacks right to your door. Start snacking smarter with wholesome, delicious treats like Kung Pao pretzels. To get your complimentary Naturebox sampler, visit naturebox.com/TWiT. That's naturebox.com/TWiT. This is Mike Elgan at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, Spain. Now, one of the things that we see a lot of at this show that's, people tend to think of this show as kind of a consumer-facing show and, with the smartphones and all the gadgets and stuff. This is also a show for the carriers and the equipment that carriers use, the cell tower type technology and related things.
Hi, my name is Stéphane Deblay from Nokia.
Wonderful. And what are you showing here?
We've got a couple of new range of small cell solutions to enhance the performance for user in hotspot, but also bring LTE and high performance LTE in indoor locations also.
So you have both outdoor and indoor devices here that you're showing on the wall behind you. Can you talk about the outdoor ones first?
Yeah, so on the outdoor side, what we're doing is we're bringing even higher performance solution that operates in wider spectrum range and do carrier aggregation on LTE to bring performance up to 500 to 600 megabit per second.
And who would use something like that? I mean, for example, who would the customer be who would install it and all that?
So we are selling to almost all operators around the world, so mobile operators such as SoftBank, Vodafone, KDDI, and all those operators around the world, deploying those solutions to help bring additional performance where the user needed the most. So tube stations, concert halls, sports stadium, these kind of places where they need extra capacity in addition of the existing networks.
We definitely need it at this show. I don't think they have it though, right? I mean, it's really hard to get a connection at Mobile World Congress today.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's effectively a Wi-Fi networks and all the operators' networks, but the density of people makes it the perfect kind of location to deploy such a solution and really boost the performance for all the end user when they need it the most, which is now.
And how about the indoor ones? Are they essentially the same technologies but just for indoors, or is it something different?
That's correct. I mean, most people are now used to getting very high speed 4G outdoor. The operators are now looking at bringing this kind of performance in indoor location. But while doing so, there's an element of cost that's very important that the operators want to control. With our solution, we're bringing the kind of same performance on outdoor, but making it very simple by just being able for the operators to deploy that, reusing the existing LAN cables in a building, which means you can just literally walk in and change those Wi-Fi access points for small cell solution that supports 3G, LTE and Wi-Fi and improve the performance for all enterprise and public indoor locations.
Can you give me a sense of what the timing is on this? Are these already available on the market? And if not, when are they available?
Yes, I mean most small cell are starting to be deployed in high volume. It started about end of 2014 when we saw a lot of deployments of small cell, mostly covering the kind of mass events, marathons and sport events or conference hall for exhibition. These are the kind of places. We've even supported a few Formula One races with those solutions to ensure people in the stand can record video and upload it and share it with their friends.
Anything else we need to know about this technology? What's coming next, for example?
Well, what's coming next is even more deployment of those small cells. So what we had before is mostly macro cells in a network. Now we've got what we call heterogeneous networks with small cell being deployed, and we'll see what we call denser and denser development of those small cell in those networks all the way to 5G in 2020, which will also use a lot of small cell to deliver even higher performance in the future.
Fantastic, and hopefully you'll make a deal with the Mobile World Congress people to get this show with better connectivity.
Yeah, we'll work on that with all the operators in Spain.
And what is this beautiful monstrosity behind you here?
This is a Nokia Networks zero-emission base station site.
So it's zero emissions, and this is very new technology, isn't it?
We have launched 20 new enhancements, hardware, software, services, to make it possible today.
So it's zero emissions. That implies that a conventional unit like this would put out or cause emissions. What sort of energy is being saved here, from like 5 years ago from a non sort of green, if you will, one of these?
Okay, with these new products, we are able to save 70%, so 70% lower emissions than 10 years ago. of course 10 years ago this kind of system would have been also 10 times more expensive. And that's a big change. So both the base station has changed and also solar systems have changed.
So is that the solar panel on the very top, is that generating all of the emission savings, or how is that being achieved?
Well, 70% of the savings because of the better equipment, lower consuming equipment. We have better software, we have better hardware.
I see. And so what can you give me a sense of the larger problem, I don't know, globally, or give some sense of the big picture in terms of the environmental impact of this kind of equipment?
Of the global energy consumption, the mobile networks contribute about 1%, but that figure is increasing about 20% a year.
Why is that?
Our customers are adding new equipment like 4G, new frequency bands. The more boxes you add, the more energy is consumed.
So the higher tech, the faster speeds, all that is actually causing a much bigger impact on the energy consumption.
That's right. And with this new solution, we can now change the world in a little bit better place to live and reduce the carbon dioxide emissions, eventually go down to zero.
All right. Well, thank you so much for speaking to us today.
Hey, thank you.
What is your name, please?
Bernd Fastenrath, working for Nokia here.
Wonderful. And what are you showing off here today?
We show a proof of concept for car-to-car communication and CartoInfrastructure.
And can you tell us how this works? And also, I see you have a little model here, so if you can show us as well.
It's working the way that the connected car driving in front of you is gathering information via the sensors and sending these information to a mobile network base station. In this base station we have intelligence coming from our location cloud. We analyze this data and send it back to all the other cars following this car to make them aware of the incident ahead, and so they are able to adjust their driving style to avoid this kind of situation and have a safe and secure travel.
Now this would have to be integrated with the automobiles. In other words, the car makers would have to be the ones, they're your customers really, right? So they're going to integrate this as a feature of the cars that they're going to be selling. How does that work exactly, and like when could consumers expect to see the first cars with this technology built in, do you think?
So it's a so-called connected service, and what the car manufacturers need today and what they still have is connectivity in the car, so means a mobile and this mobile modem and a SIM card. And on top, it's a software service coming through the cloud, or in that case, the cloudlet from the base station, which they still have implemented if they have connected services in the car. In our case, it's more about the mobile network operator that they offer these kind of service coming from a mobile base station.
And of course, lots of the mobile OS companies like Apple and Google are getting into dashboard type of integrations. Is this something that could work in a CarPlay type of car, or a Android oriented dashboard, or is this something that would require a different kind of solution? In other words, is this connected to sort of the dashboard OS in any way?
From an OEM perspective, it's always connected to the dashboard because it's about bringing the information in a visible way, in a car-safe way to the driver to alert him. But the device on which you alert can be the car display, can be a smartphone display, also when you think about pedestrians, bicyclists, other road users.
What else do we need to know about this technology?
It's leveraging existing technology, so it's not about a research project, it's about things really come to life now and today and can be used.
Wonderful, thank you so much for talking to us.
Welcome, thank you.
Can you tell us about the Windows Phone that you're announcing here today?
Yes, so we're launching here at Mobile World Congress this year the first Windows 8.1 mobile phone. It's what I would call a wallet-friendly entry-level phone, looking at people, which, maybe don't want to have Android or another, but prefer to have Windows. As I said, wallet-friendly. Looking at the target audience from, like first-time smartphone users to vacationers, so they can take, maybe another phone on vacation, to what I will call party phone goers, people who go to parties, take their phone, have basics, camera, social media. What is also nice about it, besides having to run Windows, it runs on dual SIMs. So like people like you and me, we can keep our home number. When we go abroad, we just insert a second SIM card and don't need to carry two phones with us.
Are there two versions, one with one SIM and one with two, or they all have the two SIM capability?
We give the options between 2 and 1. It depends a little bit on the countries, and sometimes the telcos prefer 1 versus 2. But most of them come with 2 SIM cards, since we're selling to the open channel, so you get the flexibility.
And will this be upgradable to Windows 10 at some point in the future?
Absolutely.
Can you show us a little bit about if there's any unique features that you've added on there from a software perspective?
So from a software perspective, in general, all the phones we don't make a lot of modifications, because what we want people, if you're used to be it Windows or Android on a certain environment on different phones, if they start looking different on every device, people get confused. So we typically leave them the general UI like it is. I mean, you got your typical Windows interface here. You have here the shortcuts for cameras and some of the other stuff. But other than that, and here you can see 2 SIM cards. It shows the symbol. We as I said, leave it really plain.
Our sponsor today is Naturebox, sponsoring this episode of our Mobile World Congress coverage. If you're going to snack, and of course you're going to snack, you want to snack on real food, on healthy food, and you can make it super convenient to get that food with Naturebox, because it's a subscription snack service. They will send you some really great snacks that you may not have ever tried before, and they have so many varieties, more than 100 different types of snacks, that's sweet, spicy, salty, whatever it is that you like to snack on. And what's interesting is that you can try new snacks all the time. They just send you stuff that you might like, and if you like them, you can keep them on your list. If you don't like them, you can take them off the list, and they'll just keep sending you ones, and you'll discover all kinds of flavors and snack types that are just what you like. And life is hectic. You're going to have a snack on stuff, and shopping for snacks is in a supermarket is never a good idea. So much junk in the supermarket, and that's one of the reasons why people don't eat as well as they could. But with Naturebox, their snacks have 0 artificial flavors, 0 artificial colors, 0 artificial sweeteners, no high fructose corn syrup, no trans fats. You don't want any of that stuff in your snacks, and it's unnecessary. It doesn't make snacks better. It just makes them junk food of the kind that you don't want to eat. So they have flavors like jalapeno white cheddar popcorn, which is amazing, cashew power clusters, whole wheat raspberry figgy bars, all of their bars. We're practically fighting over them at the TWiT Brick House because they are so good. So start your trial today and get a complimentary sampler box. That's right, complimentary healthy snacks. You just pay the $2 shipping. Just go to naturebox.com/twit. Stay full, stay strong, start snacking smarter, and go to naturebox.com/twit. All right, we're going to continue slogging. I wish I had some Naturebox here. We should have brought some with us. We're going to continue slogging through the show floor here. Hi, Brian.
I'm the director of marketing for Sandisk. I work with all their outbound marketing campaigns.
Okay, and tell us about your massively high-capacity tiny card.
All right, so this is the biggest thing at Mobile World Congress.
It looked pretty small to me, actually.
Yep, here it is right here. It's the world's first. I don't know if you can you zoom in that close? This is the world's first 200 gigabyte card. And it's really perfect for that person that wants to capture, carry, keep it all. It actually comes in a class 10 performance, so it's great for full HD video. And as I said, 200 gigabytes. That's a tremendous amount of capacity. We're really proud of it at Sandisk.
And when is this available, and what is the approximate price, or the exact price?
Yeah, the exact price is $399, and it's going to be available in April.
And will all phones that support this size be able to use this?
Well, it is a SDXC card. That means the extended capacity. So the phones now that support 64 gigabytes, 128 gigabytes will soon be able to also support 200 gigabytes.
And now, is that a tough sell? Now, of course, that's a great price for what you get, but it's a lot of money. It's more than a lot of phones these days. There are phones now. Microsoft has a phone that's $29. So, what sort of user would buy a device like this?
Really, what's driving this is our desire, or consumers' desire, to have more content with them and also record more video, more photos, more content in general. So the market's telling us at Sandisk that they want more capacity, and that's what we're doing. We're delivering the capacity that consumers tell us they want.
What else are you announcing here besides the card? Yeah.
Got a few right here. I'll pull them out of my pocket. I can keep going all day too. But actually, we have our first high endurance card. And what we're doing is we're designing, engineering, testing cards for continual video recording applications such as home security surveillance and also dash cameras. And those types of environments have a higher level of endurance that's required. This is a 64 gigabyte card, and what we're saying is this card will withstand up to 10,000 hours of video.
Wonderful. And this is available, you're announcing it at the show today?
This card's available now, and we're announcing it at the show.
Okay, give us one other product that's new here at the show. Okay. You're like a magician.
I got one other product. Let me pull it out of my pocket. I got a lot of things.
I hope it's not a rabbit.
I was going to go bam. Actually, this is a dual drive. Okay. And the dual drive, now we talked about cards, right? So cards are all about storing capacity, sharing capacity, and saving capacity. What this lets you do is transfer the content very easily. And when I say transfer, it's got a USB 3 port on this side, so you can plug it into your laptop, and then it has the brand new C-type connector on this end. So as we see more devices adopt C connectors, they'll be able to use this device. Now what a C connector does, it's a reversible connector, so you don't have to worry about what side you put it in. Either side works. This is available in 32 gigabytes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for talking to us today.
Awesome. Thank you.
We're here at the Alcatel booth, and we're looking at some of the new announcements that they're making. What is your name, and what do you do for the company?
I'm David Vieira, and I'm product marketing.
And what is Alcatel announcing here at Mobile World Congress?
So here we are announcing the Idol 3. This is the third generation of Idol. This will be our flagship product for 2015. Why 3? Because this is the third generation of Idol. In the previous generation, Idol was very focused on the design, very slim design with metal frame, etc. We still keep the design as really important for us, but we are bringing in this Idol 3 best experience in 3 features, which are cameras, camera display, and sound. Okay, so we have here 2 size of display, 4.7 and 5.5. The 4.7 is 110 grams, and this one 5.5 only 140 grams. So really good. So this product, let's talk first about sound. We have here 2 speakers. It's dual speaker, but frontal speaker, so the sound comes directly to you. JBL help us to really improve the sound of the phone. And we work also with Mix Vibe. This is a music player for Idol 3. We call it Mix now. Why Mix? Because when you open your music player, you will see all your songs. And if you want to play, you have here a turntable like a DJ, and you can play with it. You see? So you can put some effects. For example, we can mix so you have some filters also, and this is, you can mix the music that is in your phone, in your memory or in your SD card, but also some music from Deezer. Here it's changed a little bit, and you can play. You have the 2 turntables. You can make some scratch if you want. So it's very a lot of fun for this music player. We really work with Technicolor to improve the color. We have more warm color compared to the other phones. So Technicolor helps us a lot. Technicolor is very well known and very specialist in the image. They work a lot in Hollywood industry. So they help us to improve this. We work on a solution that boosts the image, and you can read under the sunlight without consuming a lot of energy. This is, yeah.
Now you're introducing some new stuff around the Internet of Things here at the show. Can you talk about what you're introducing here?
Yeah, so we see IoT as a big market in coming years. It's going to explode. A lot of use cases around connected cars, and that's what we are showcasing here. Driver assistance, right from sensors which kind of see as to what your attention is and then attract if your attention is diverted. To smart community, we have a smart parking demo which we are actually showcasing our IoT gateway on TI's Citara platform. So multiple such use cases we are displaying here.
Can you, for a lot of our viewers and listeners who are consumers of technology, what sort of company would use your services essentially, and how would that whole thing happen? Can you describe the type of company and how they might use you guys?
Predominantly in the 4 market segments, so leaders, people who make equipments for communications. So we are kind of leaders in LTE, where company use our enabling software and services to make LTE, to make faster communications. People who want to showcase the power of their chipset. One example was we talked about the IoT, connected cars, smart community. So companies which are working in that. And the software and internet services across cloud mobility.
Okay, what's going on here? Are they just playing with toy cars, or is there technology involved here?
What we believe is the smart community start from smart homes to smart metering. So we have 2 use cases here where we actually do smart metering. You can actually switch on and off the equipment in your home depending on the usage, the kind of tariff plan which you want to hit. And the other demo which you're showcasing is a smart parking system where you kind of allocate your parking on the internet, and once you can allocate and go and park there. So
you mean like you can reserve a parking space?
That's right. You reserve a parking space and utilize that.
Wow, I need that. All right, thank you so much for talking to us today.
Thank you.
Hi and welcome. What is your name and what do you do for the company?
So my name is Oliver. I'm taking care of the global marketing. Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. And can you tell us some of the highlights of the Elfie S5.1?
It's actually the S5.1 is the slimmest smartphone in the world. It's recognized by the World Guinness Record. It's currently the holder of the Guinness World Record.
And this device is not being announced at this show, right? And when was this announced, and where is it available, and approximately what is the price of this phone?
For this phone, for the S5, 5.1 is around 250 US dollar.
And where is it available, and when did it ship?
The phone is available in China market and the Asia Pacific regions, and especially in India. Yeah, yes.
And this has been around since how long?
It's been around for 6 months already. It's the slimmest smartphone in the world currently. It's thickness at 5.1 millimeters. So running a octa-core processor with a 13 megapixel camera. So let me show you the camera. Yes. It's also has a 5 megapixel front camera as well. Yeah.
Now this company specializes in ultra thin devices, obviously. And do you come up against the problem of possibly having phones that are too thin?
No, I don't think so. We stick on making the phone slimmer. Actually, that's not a very... sometimes people get confused and people get misled. We're not actually just doing a slim smartphone. We're trying to make a better consumer experience and the user experience to the consumers. I think slim phone is not a direction for us. We're trying to make it slim, looks good, but also with a good performance as well. Yeah.
Apple and Samsung have had difficulty with phones that are significantly less thin than yours, with the camera sticking out. Samsung's new Galaxy S6 has a major piece of hardware that sticks out for the camera. Apple's, of course, was criticized. The iPhone 6 and 6 Plus was criticized for the same thing. How do you guys do it and keep the camera electronics into that incredibly thin phone?
Do you mean that we keep the camera more flat than rather than the intruding camera? So I think making the camera extruding is definitely not acceptable from Genie. We don't think the compromise is worthy. So we think we should make the phone with the flat camera. We don't want it protruding. We want it more beautiful. So without sacrificing the look. That's S7, eLife S7 was launched yesterday.
So this is the brand new stuff that's being launched at the show here today. And what's unique about this phone, and how does it differ from the 5.1?
As I said, the slim battle is out of the racing, so we don't want to make the phone slimmer than ever before. We want to make sure the performance is good, and we want to make sure the design is good. So this is the perfect. This is the combination of the design and performance. We want to make them more balanced. We want to make everything perfect. So if you see that the design is also very slim, but but it's not the slimmest phone in the world. But
so just for people, sometimes it's difficult to see in the video, but this is not quite as slim as the 5.1, but this is way slimmer than the competition, right?
Yes, but it's also very slim in the market. It's only at 5.5 millimeters. So I think consumers doesn't have a clue to recognize what is different by their eyes, so they don't see any difference between the S5.1 and 5.2. And when you see the design, it actually has two parallel lines, which is purely metal design. And then on the front and the back is equipped with the Gorilla glasses, third generation. And for the camera, it has even better one. If you see, the camera has much more clear and crispy results. Also for the front, then you can have 8 megapixel front camera. But the most interesting for this phone is the battery life. The phone can last for a whole day. I mean, more than 24 hours with only 10% battery power. So we have an extreme, what we call extreme mode. Then you can turn off the data. The phone will automatically turn the theme down to the black, and then you can last for a whole day. So the battery life is the average battery life is around 33 hours.
Nice. And so one last question: do you have plans to expand beyond your current markets, maybe into Europe and the United States?
Yes, definitely. We're working with we partnership with Kazam in the UK and Oviu from the Romanian market. So these two brands are helping us to distributing our phones in this region with their brand name. Yes. Yes, that's our strategy for the European market. So we mainly focus in the Asia-Pacific market, including China and India.
There are just so many companies. So to give you a sense of the scale of the show, we have walked through on this program approximately 1/2 of this side of this hall. So approximately 1/4 of one of the halls, and there are 8 halls. Mobile World Congress is going to dominate all our coverage this week. There's so much going on, so much news to report, so many new gadgets, toys, technologies, and trends. Check out all of our coverage on the TWiT network. Again, this is Mike Elgan at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, Spain, signing off, and we will see you again for the same type of coverage tomorrow at the same time.